Hi, everybody. I hope you've had a good week. It's Athena here. I'm going to continue talking about the narcissist in your life and how you deal with the dysfunction that surrounds this person. The thing that I wanted to sort of analyze a little bit today is what do you do in the case of a narcissist reappearing in your life after a period of giving you the silent treatment? Now, I know this very well because I'm currently experiencing this with my father, who unfortunately is a narcissist. And although I have decided in the last year and a bit to go no contact, and he has called me numerous times, I have chosen not to speak to him. I have chosen not to pick up the phone. I have chosen not to communicate in any way whatsoever. Now, this hasn't been easy. He's my father, after all. And when a narcissist is a member of your family, then it is even harder to resist the urge that you have to get back in contact. First of all, it's hard because you want to have a good relationship with a parent because you love your parent unconditionally. And the narcissistic parent, unfortunately, isn't able and wasn't able to love you unconditionally. So you are the healthy one here, and your love is unconditional. So you will want to imagine a life with your parent one day. You will want to imagine that they do love you, that the reason they are calling you is because they care. But if time and time again they have shown you in the past that they are not able to love you because they might have said they love you, but their actions have shown otherwise, then hoping that they're going to one day come back and be the father or the mother that you always wanted is not going to happen. So in my case with my father, generally I've had a good relationship with my father after I became an adult, and the reason that our relationship was always good was because I never challenged him. I never said what he didn't want to hear. I told him what I thought about certain situations, that I didn't like certain choices that he was making, but I never went against his will. I never spoke to him in a critical way because, in a sense, he's a scary person. He's quite a controlling and manipulative narcissist. If you don't do as he wants, then he will probably give you the silent treatment. This is something that I watched in my family growing up. I saw this in the way that he treated my mother. And he probably did this to me as well when I was a teenager. I just don't recall so much the times that he did that. But I know, for instance, that if he disapproved of something or he didn't like something you did, then he would probably pull this really sort of angry face, and then he would sort of subtly ignore you for a couple of days. Now that's abusive. That's giving someone the silent treatment. It means I don't like what you're doing, so I'm not talking to you. And not talking to someone is very, very painful. It's very abusive behavior because what the person giving the silent treatment is doing is they're telling you that you don't matter. They are telling you that you are not important. And they are also telling you that you don't exist to me. And in the last year and a half, my father has done that. I did one thing out of love to protect him after a very difficult time financially. And ever since I did this one thing, he decided that I'm not worth talking to anymore. Suddenly, his daughter, who would always be kind, who was always empathetic, who was always caring, did something that he didn't want me to do. I took control of something that was about his life because he was in a vulnerable position and somebody had to act fast. And I did this one thing. I told him that I did this to protect him out of love. And of course, a narcissist knows better. You don't go against what a narcissist wants. So he stopped talking to me. He stopped talking to me for about a year. And I cannot tell you how painful it was because I've done so much for my father over the years. As a child of narcissistic parents, you naturally become a codependent. You naturally do what they want. You naturally want to help them. You naturally put them ahead of yourself. So that's kind of been my life with my parents. They've always been the immature ones that I've had to save or support or feel sorry for. So this silent treatment that my father gave me, and the silent treatment went as far as me flying home, because my father's in another country, flying home and actually making one last attempt to speak to him by actually visiting his workplace with my husband. And he saw me, said hello, and then ignored me for the next 10-15 minutes that I was there talking to his colleagues. So that was my last attempt at connecting with them. And after that, I didn't hear from him for 7 months, and then suddenly he decided to call me a day after my birthday. Now, I can tell you that on my birthday, I was absolutely devastated. I was dreading it the whole week before because I knew it would be strange and he wouldn't call me and it would be horrible. And then he calls me the day after. The phone rings and I see his name and I'm like, God, really? Like, you're not calling now because you care. You're just trying to wean yourself back in because you want something. And the thing is, I have something that my father wants. And the thing that I have is one of the most precious things in his life. If I didn't have that one thing he wanted, he probably wouldn't call me. Because he showed that he didn't care, because he treated me like an object. He treated me like someone who didn't matter to him. He showed his true colors. After 34 years of my life, I made excuses for him, but he showed his true colors. And all I'd like to say to anybody out there who's in the process of going no contact with a parent, or for any narcissist in that matter, for anybody who is sick and manipulative and controlling, is don't feel guilty. You will feel guilty, and that person will make you feel ashamed, and they will make you feel guilty. Do not believe any attempts that they make when they try and contact you. It might be that they leave a voicemail and they sound really caring on the phone and they say, I miss you and I'm sorry, and etc., etc. My father personally didn't apologize for all the harm he caused me because he doesn't have a conscience, because he isn't able to be accountable for his behavior. Most people that are high on the narcissistic spectrum, especially those with narcissistic personality or psychopathy, they are not able to apologize and truly mean it. People that are high on the narcissistic spectrum aren't able to be accountable for their bad behavior. They know they are causing pain. They know that they're not behaving in an appropriate way. They always know that they cause harm. And the reason I'm saying they know is that if they weren't aware, then they wouldn't try and hide it from people. But because narcissistic people try and hide their nasty actions, they try and hide their bad behavior from the public, that shows that they know that what they're doing is bad, right? So a little bit of advice from somebody who's going through it at the moment: when you're at the stage of not talking to a narcissistic parent who's been abusive or a narcissistic ex-partner, just believe me when I say that they do not care about you. As hurtful as it is, as painful as it is to realize this, especially from a parent, they are not able to love you. They are not able to care for you in a healthy way. They want to use you for narcissistic supply because they feel empty inside. They're an empty vessel, and they use other people to fill this emptiness that they feel inside. And when they come back after not talking to you, after giving you the silent treatment, what they are doing is they are hoovering their way back in. They are trying to suck you back in by saying something nice, by maybe apologizing, by saying how it's been such a long time and they just want to reconnect with you. Whatever they say, whatever excuse they say, don't buy it. Don't believe it. My father is a compulsive liar. He always has been, and it took me a while to see through it because I didn't want to believe it. But at a time when he was trying to get back that one thing I took from him to protect him from his own insanity, the lies that he came up with were the fabrications. I cannot tell you. It was just extreme. These people are amazing actors and fabricators. They will make up all sorts of stories just to get what they want. And I even checked up on some of the things he said, and I knew that they were lies. So do not believe somebody that has narcissistic personality. Do not allow them back in your life. I know you might miss them. I know it hurts. I know it's a horrible feeling to be rejected, especially by somebody that you thought loved you. But believe me, they will never change. They will not be remorseful, even if they are your parent. So yeah, that's it today, guys. Look after yourselves. Have a good week. I hope this video was helpful in some way and that the sound quality is still good. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and please feel free to leave comments. It's really something I'm very happy to respond to any questions that you may have in the comments. And if you would rather send me an email personally, then also do so. I've still got a few emails I haven't gone through, so I will get back to you, I promise. Have a peaceful day, look after yourselves, and take care. I will see you soon.